Welcome to Alaska Family Connection. My name is Hunter Mizar, and I have the great privilege of being District Superintendent. Today, I am in Cordova, Alaska. I'm sitting here with Pastor Steve Leppert. This is my last church to travel to see. So I've been across the entire state, and I don't know, in my mind, I kind of had Cordova as being small and significant. I wasn't looking forward to it, if I'm frank with you. And the main reason why is because there's so many cruise ships that go to the other places.
Yeah.
So since there wasn't cruise ships, I was thinking, oh, well, Cordova must not have much to shout about. So yesterday, you gave me a tour of the city, and I'm falling in love with this place.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful, beautiful place. You're surrounded by mountains, beautiful water.
Prince William Sound.
And there's all these islands. Of course, you're part of this rainforest area, so it's green.
It rains a
and
lot.
Beautiful. But for me, it's been sunny and just unbelievable.
Yeah. You brought it with you. Thank you.
This has been great. And what a privilege to be at your church today.
Yeah, it was
just
awesome.
a friendly group of people that obviously love the Lord.
Yeah.
And part of what I was excited about was we showed up at 9:45. You had 15 kids, I think I counted, of elementary school kids that were singing songs I remember from being a little kid. Yeah. And they were singing, getting ready to go to Sunday school, and just to see kids excited about it. And then lots of teenagers. I mean, it was unbelievable. The place was packed.
It was a good crowd.
It was a great day.
If we can use the term crowd, I don't know what's the problem. It's God. It was, and your testimony. It was one of the top 10 days since I've been here. Oh, I'm not saying that because I've already got the job.
Okay. So, Steve, I always ask people, how did you get called into ministry? Because you're one of those guys that kind of got later a call into ministry. You didn't grow up in the church.
No, I was 25 when I became a Christian.
Yeah. So, what did you originally think you were going to be? Because you're a hockey player. Played some semi-pro hockey. Yeah. I mean, was that kind of the aspiration growing up?
Until I blew out my left knee.
Okay.
Well,
but you played a lot of travel.
I played in Europe. I played around the East Coast in tournaments and travel teams and semi-pro teams. Yeah. For a while there, I got kind of a weird hired gun. Hey, I'll give you $50 if you come up and play for my team this Saturday. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Well, back then it was, what are we drinking afterwards? But athletics came to me naturally. Yeah. I can't say that I studied. It just, sports comes to me naturally.
Okay.
Whatever I've ever done. And my own children can't check the oil in the car, so go figure. So
what did you want to do as a kid? What did young Steve think he was going to do with his life?
I couldn't tell you what I wanted to be until I became a Christian.
Okay.
I was just floating around, living in my parents' house, being a bum, being a sinner. The BC days, as we call them. Yeah. I was just a BC Christian who, not a nice person. Yeah. I wouldn't be somebody you want your daughter to marry.
So here's what's amazing to me, though, is, your marriage was kind of on the rocks.
Yeah, very much so.
And you get saved.
Yep.
And then they immediately plug you into serving in the church, right?
I knew the pastor of the church because I played softball with him. Yeah. And I had no idea. I got saved on a Sunday, and I was told you were saved to serve, which, listen, I would never tell anybody that.
There's got to be discipleship.
In hindsight, it kept me coming.
Wow.
I don't know if I would have kept coming as much as I did, because I had to be there.
Yeah.
And then, long story short.
So what did they ask you to do right away?
I was working with caravan kids.
Okay.
Right away.
You're a brand new Christian. Hey, why don't you teach kids?
I was just working with them. And Pastor Charlie, great man of God. Yeah. He's led thousands of people to Christ in the Paramus Church in Nazarene. It was New Milford and Paramus. Okay. He's led, I know, 10, 15 pastors. Jim Mercy was a pastor. He got saved, the same church I got saved.
Wow.
And so he said, you want to play softball? So on that Monday, I'm playing softball for the New Milford Church in Nazarene against one of the black churches in New York who are taking their bus into Jersey to play us. So this is great. If there's a church, I'm in my element here. And then it just got to serve the caravan. Then I became assistant youth pastor. Yeah. And then I became the youth pastor. Yeah. And then associate pastors here and there. My first full-time pastor was in Long Island. But that story I told you quickly, I was spending more time at the church and teens than my kids. And my kids told me that. Yeah. And my DS, Dr. Mucci, he said, listen, I have an empty building. Go raise your kids. Don't worry about build the kingdom if you can. Yeah. And we built it about 10, 15 people, but if you had kids, I said, go down the street, to the Massapequa Church. They got cradle to grave ministry there. Everything you kids. I can't give you that time right now. I'm going to be with my kids. I'm going to travel with my kids. The churches are going to be my priority.
Yeah.
Actually, my Christianity will be, but my family.
Sure.
So I got to raise my kids. But after 20 years, and I've always had a thing for kids.
Yeah.
And it goes back to my childhood being so bad.
Yeah.
And I take full ownership of my horrible attitude as a kid. But the message was, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you're a jerk, everything you do is wrong, and there's nothing. And those are like implants that they're in there. And they can pop up at any time. The Lord has touched me mightily in that area of life. But, like Paul, I think that's going to be there until the very end. But it keeps me on my toes, for sure.
So was there a defining moment, though, that you went, God really has this bigger calling on me to serve in ministry? Yeah. Or was it just continually
I just always knew I wanted to minister. Okay. If I could use that word. Yeah. I never thought of it as a senior pastor at first. Okay. I just thought I just want to be involved with people. Yeah. And a lot of it was I did it because I was proving to God that I was worthy of it. Yeah. And after 20 years, again, after 20 years of pastoring, it's called the New York District. I'm done. Because at a district assembly, Dr. Stelting from the Nazarene Bible, I don't know if you remember him. No. He called me Papa Bear. Dr. Stelting was like this. I'm looking for Steve Leppert. And it's New York. I go, who wants to know? It's me. Wow. I'm on the key soundboard. Who wants to know? I'm here to invite him to Bible college. And I said to my wife, and everything's been like this in my life, we're going.
Which is a huge step to leave New York.
My job.
Go all the way to Colorado Springs. And you got a family, right?
I got 3 kids. Oof. My son Derek was going freshman year at EMC. Yeah. My other son was a senior, I think a junior or senior in high school. Wow. My wife would know. He was in high school. Yeah. And I went to Bible college, and I got involved with the counseling cohort. Okay. With Dr. Lewis and Dr. Lambright. Yeah. They saved me. Wow. And you have to be in counseling yourself for those 15 months. Okay. And that guy was good, that counselor. Yeah. Because what happened there, lose it. I found God's love there. Yeah. I realized that all the stuff I'm doing isn't impressing anybody but me. Yeah. Everybody else thinks it's great because I built good youth groups, success, but I was miserable. Yeah. I had no idea of God's love. Wow. But I found through counseling that I was kind of set up to fail, and whether it's a good theology or not, I needed to cut myself some slack for not being perfect. Yeah. You know, I'm beyond that now. No, so I found God's love, and it changed everything. Yeah. And then, but when I first got saved, I applied for Athletes in Action, because I'm a really good athlete, right? Wouldn't you think, hey, like the Apostle Paul, send him to the Jews. Sure. No, go to the Gentiles. So every door shut. And I am thankful for I can't even count the amount of doors got shut so that I would be here. Yeah. I spent 59 years old so I got saved in 1980, so do these, 40 years? Yeah. Wow. 30-something years in the church and as a Christian. Never got, this is where I'm going to go. No, you're not. Yeah. I'm going to apply for this church. No, you're not getting it. And then I get called here.
Which is the most fascinating story to me. Yeah. You grew up in Jersey, right?
New Jersey, yeah.
So how in the world a kid that grew up in New Jersey ends up in Cordova, Alaska?
I pastored all that time in New York, 20 years. And then I went away for a lot of years. But I went to Bible college, got healthy. I was in Missouri, associate pastor, helping churches. Just bouncing around helping churches. And it was really cool. So I said, I got to get a lot of back surgeries. I got to get back. I can't get off this concrete in the big box store I was a manager in. And every church was known in Missouri. Every church. And when I went from Colorado to go to seminary, I was told I could go to seminary and still work at Home Depot. And the new manager said, "No, you can't." So I said, "I can't go to seminary," which was a good thing. Okay. I have enough school debt. And so I'm in that situation, but I want to pastor again. Yeah. And everything's no in Missouri. And then I'm still at Home Depot. My wife and I are miserable. We're both at Home Depot. We're just dragged in. I'm being a Christian at Home Depot. I'm doing the Christian things. I'm talking, helping, whatever. I check the boxes, okay? Right. But miserable about life. I'm 59 years old. Lord, am I ever going to get a church? So I just give up looking. And the district advisory board, I met with them, and kind of said, hey, I don't think a guy like me stands a chance, huh? And they said, we wouldn't say that. But again, it's not it's nothing bad about it. Thank you. Thank you for saying no. And so I was in shoulder surgery, and Dr. Rao's wife at DS, or General, maybe it was a General, but I don't know which one it was, General or District, said, I'm going to send you churches that are available because I think you should be pastoring again.
Yeah.
So I get these things, and I'm having shoulder surgery, and I get this email. She sends me for Cordova AK. And I go, okay, wait a minute, that's Arkansas. Okay. And I say, Arkansas is this far from my grandson, and I'm in Kansas City to Wichita. It's the same distance, because I was picking this is divorce, my 3-year-old grandson was being dribbled around the divorce, and I was going every Friday picking him up and bringing him back, and just a great time. And I said, and then I get a call from a man named Paul Hartley, Pastor Paul, we call him, and he said, he's talking to me, he goes, have you ever been to Alaska? I go, I've been ordained since 1995. What, is there training I go through? He goes, no, that's where the church is. And if I was sitting in front of my computer, this is exactly what I did. If this is you. And I spoke to him, and they did some video interviews with me and 2 other pastors, and I was in the running, and I was everything you would tell me not to do in an interview. Hey, I'm terrible at this. No, I was honest with him, and my wife's kicking me under the table.
Right.
You don't have to tell him that stuff. Don't lie, but just shh. I said, no, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, I was myself and told him how I am, bull in the china shop, and the interview, and they brought me out to interview, and I preached and met with the board, and they said, we got 2 weeks to pray about it, and then they called me, would you accept this calling? And if they had said, we're going to give you 2 or 3 months to think about it, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
I would have talked myself out of it.
Because Alaska was never on your radar.
No, Alaska.
Yeah.
The hardest part is being that far from my kids.
Sure.
But you know what? It's hard for them too.
Yeah.
I say, hey, you can come here. So that's how I wound up in here, and it's been wonderful. The struggle at first, because I had to learn to be a pastor. Yeah. I was always pastoring a church of a few people, and the bigger churches I pastored in, I never really was involved in boards. And I was 7 years with the denomination, didn't know there was a district assembly, because I was in a gospel kind of hall church. Again, God bless it. They will have more blessings on their tray than me for the amount of people that got saved there. Yeah. And then I wound up being here, and God got me through it. He protected me. I've got an unbelievable group of folks. And I've learned from that.
Really love you. I mean, it seems like it's such a great fit. I mean, it's coming from both ends. They love you, you love them. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And it's a great group of folks. It's turned over. We now have the next generation of leaders. Yeah. There's 2 or 3 or 4 couples who have been here forever, 40 plus years, 30, 40 years. Yeah. And they understand. Sure. Their cup of coffee time's coming to sit back and come to sit down and just hold your cup out and we'll fill your cup for you. We're not done with you because we need your expertise and your advice. Right. But it took a while for them. It took a while for me to understand that they understood that. They take care of me and love me, and Sharon and I, our relationship has never been better. Yeah. Horrible health issues in 2025 that she found out and I went through, and it was a hard year. Yeah. But I have a lady in the church who's been going through cancer for 13, 14 years treatments. Wow. Who would just hold me accountable. Yeah, that's great. Come on, man of faith. Just stop. Yeah. I know you're anxious, but you can't be. Yeah. You can't be. That's awesome. She rescued many times my anxieties about it all. And I get, you're not supposed to be anxious for nothing. And I say, again, if I feel anxious or get anxious, don't do anything dumb. Yeah. I can't deny I'm anxious. I'm not anxious.
So talk to us a little bit about Cordova's community itself. Okay. I mean, it's a major fishing area.
It's a fishing village.
Yeah. How big is Cordova?
About 2,400 to 2,500 if you said year-round. But now you add the summer. In the summer, April, May, June, it's probably 5,000 or more. Okay. Cannery workers, fishermen, deckhands everywhere. People bring in food trucks. People just do everything. And then they disappear. And then we're stuck with no food trucks for the winter. Yeah. It's politically 50-50. Okay. However,
the weather's fairly mild, right?
Lots of rain.
Lots of rain, but not necessarily a ton of snow.
No, in my growing up in New York and New Jersey, and my time in Kansas City, and much more worse winters at Cordova. Yeah, yeah. I haven't had a winter where it was unbearable with snow all the time.
Yeah.
And
not like, it doesn't get below zero a lot, does it?
Yeah, it gets below, what's below zero? Below 31, below 32? Yeah, it's in the teens a lot.
Okay.
But what happens is you can't use, it's icy. Roads are icy.
Sure.
If it snows, it's snowing on top of ice.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of flip overs, a lot of people slide into pits and things like that. But the weather is what it is. In 3 years in Colorado Springs, I didn't go to Red Rocks, I didn't go to the mountains, I went to school and went to Home Depot.
Yeah.
And went to church.
Yeah. Right.
So here it is what it is. But the community itself we've been able to embrace the community in a way that they love us.
Yeah.
And we're able to barbecue for them all over the place. Hey, Pastor, you want a hospital bed? Yes. Hey, Pastor, we're going to be Appreciation Day at the phone company. Can you come and grill? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, just yesterday we had a several-year run with a free kind of rummage sale, free clothing and houseware and foods for several years. We give it away every Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then starting in April.
And here's what's amazing, though. They'll do these, and then you won't pocket it, but then you just put it right back out.
Every dime they give me, I buy lunch once at a time and feel guilty. I go to the Catholic Church and light a candle. I just say, Lord, this is the money, And I tell, hey, the money that you give me goes to the Little League, Girl Scouts, whoever asked me for it. Yeah. The wrestlers, the problem solvers, all that stuff. It goes to them. We bought this year we bought a snow cone machine for the high school, for their cafeteria. We bought them, we bought them stuff they needed. Yeah. Because the town's kind of broke. Yeah. But the people are very generous. You can come in and it's raining out, you got sneakers on, and I put stuff in the back room, like extra tub, brand new boots. Right. Hey, what size are you? What's your name? Hey, nice to meet you. I'm a pastor at the time, but that's besides the point. Right. But I got to get that in there. Oh, don't worry about me. And I'll say, just a minute, okay, here's a pair of extra tubs. How much? Just take them. Yeah. You're so generous. No, I'm not. The town is generous. Yeah. And I tell everybody, I'm a filter for their generosity. Yeah. Because I'm not giving you my stuff. You're not getting my extra tubs.
But I mean, you've embraced the community so much. Yeah. I've had several people come up to me that don't even go to your church that say Steve is the community pastor. Yeah. Like Cordova's better because Steve's here. And you even won Citizen of the Year, right?
Yeah, 2021. I'm the first one to ever win it who wasn't 50 or 60. No, who wasn't here for 20, 30 years.
That is amazing.
It was after it was 21. So that would be 6 or 7 years. And I got Citizen of the Year, which I didn't get a jacket or a watch or nothing. Just got a plaque.
I mean, that's amazing.
I'm just kidding. No, they're good to me, and my motives are I want people to know Christ as their Savior. Yeah. But I want them to see somebody who has Christ as their Savior. Right. Just take a look at me. Right. I'm not perfect. Right. But I'll tell you the right thing to do at the right time. And share with you, and they all adopted the saying, if you have an idea or a thought that it's not sinful, selfish, or unbiblical, maybe it's someone's knocking at your door. I said, when I have that thought, I'm going to the doorknob. Yeah. And I'm turning it. Sure. And I'm going, okay, Lord, what is it? And it could be any, but if you have
because I feel like too many times we just sit back, we think we'll just unlock the doors, and people will come to the church. No. But you are out there in the community and getting to know people, and you're taking the church outside of the doors, which I think
we do kite days at the hospital field. We'll buy 30, 40 kites. And the last time it was dads come fly a kite with your kids. Yeah. Because dads are the least connected. Sure. You saw our church today. There's a lot of lady wives there. Yeah. Not a lot of husbands. Right. But a lot of the wives are there. And so it was, don't come down with grandma. I want you to come, dads. I've been involved in basketball. I've been to baccalaureate 3 or 4 times. That's awesome. I get calls all the time from people in the town who say, we were told you could help. Yeah. And it could be anything other than food or clothes. And we'll find a way. Yeah.
Now, your church has a lot of, like we've said, kids and teenagers. I mean, you have a bunch that are going to NYC this summer. 6 of them and 2 chaperones. So what do you attribute kids coming here, youth coming here? I mean, have you really thought about why does that happen? Because it doesn't happen by accident.
Well, I think God just uses me because I'm a goofball. Okay. And I get along real good with kids. Yeah. I have fun with kids.
I mean, they're high-fiving you.
I can compete with them in sports. I couldn't compete in sports. Well, I have a candy drawer at my desk at the church. Yeah. And, they come in and they just lined up. Yeah. And you buy the big thing of candy. And,
but you go out of your way to make them know that you love them and that you're their pastor.
I want them to like me. Yeah. And there's going to be, if there's one down the road that becomes an adult and needs to talk to somebody who calls me, okay, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you should give the kids candy. I go, if you don't want your kid to take candy, I'll tell them. Well, all the other kids are getting candy. Well, so is everybody getting punished?
Right.
But they understand me, the adults. They accept what I'm doing. The biggest rule, I had mentioned this to you, there's a lady in the church who was one of the, Miss Ina, a great lady of God.
Yeah.
And I always worried because I pulled the rug out from them when I got here.
Yeah.
As a pastor, don't do anything, just build up trust after 3 years. I just started pulling the rug out after 3 months. I said, no, this has got to change. I could go back to Home Depot if I got it. I know there are many things I did that she didn't like.
Yeah.
And it was so out of the traditions.
Sure.
But
change is hard for everyone.
About a year and a half ago or so on the phone, I was telling her, we were just reminiscing. I said, yeah, man, it was a rough start for me. And I know that I upset you. And she goes, stop. You did everything that was right that needed to be done.
Wow.
It was new set of eyes, new leader, new vision. You stop.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how it affected me.
That's great.
And I said, well, I was going to.
Yeah.
And I still respect your opinion.
Sure.
I wouldn't want to just say, I don't care what she thinks I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I would want to make sure that she, there's those I call and tell them, here's what I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes here's what I'm going to do. I wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to prepare you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but it took time. It took 3 or 4 or 5, probably 3 years before I was invading the town. Before that I was involved, but I was invading the town.
Sure.
And it probably took about 4 years for me to say, 5 years, been here 11, okay, I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor now. Man, I'm in paradise.
And that's what I guess I'm interested in. You're an older guy, and so most people are thinking, we're just going to coast, we're going to, but you don't have that mentality at all. I mean, you're still full of energy.
I just hit 70 in January.
But you don't have any signs of slowing down.
No, they know it now. They leave me alone. They don't. You were just at the potluck. Why am I doing dishes and cleaning up? Because I invite you to my house for a potluck. I am going to be a part of helping clean up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit back and put my feet up.
Yeah.
And my wife and I both said we don't want to spend our last year or two of our lives sitting in a chair looking at the mountains.
Yeah.
I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go do something.
Right.
Let's go make hot dogs. Let's go make cheeseburgers on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And she loves her job. She works for the police department. She loves her job. She's the mom there.
Yeah.
And they depend on her, and she loves her job. We love each other tremendously. We have a great relationship.
Yeah.
But I'll just encourage you out there that I spent 59 years in frustration.
Yeah.
In preparation to be here.
Yeah.
I could have enjoyed those 59 years a lot more.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been so stubborn in what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Or where God should send me.
Wow.
It was all those no. Thank you so much for saying no. Thank you for not being promoted on the job to the highest manager position. I was in the management. Thank you. If I had been making that money, well, I might not have even tried.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to slow down.
So where do you see the future for Cordova Naz? Do you have some things that you feel like God's stirring in your heart for where you're going next?
Absolutely. We talked about it, and Stephanie talked about it. The sin of omission, not doing something. Yeah. We need a youth pastor.
Yeah.
We need and I know it's going to sound crazy. You're going to say, we need a dynamic guy to come in here.
Yeah. Because
the gals have a good, Emma's great with the teen gals.
Yeah.
She's their Sunday school teacher, and they gather and do things together.
Yeah.
We need a dynamic guy here to come here who understands it's a mission at first. It's a missionary thing.
Sure.
You got to be able to be isolated. If you love to fish and hunt, well, you'll get that opportunity.
Yeah.
But we desperately need a youth pastor.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the next generation.
And I mean, you even have some housing figured out, so the housing wouldn't necessarily be.
Yeah. We have an option for housing that if I push them, I could start it tomorrow without a youth pastor.
Yeah.
And we just pay for this studio apartment and nobody live in it.
Right.
Because I wouldn't want who owns it, another nonprofit owns it, to give it to me such a break and then I make money off of it.
Yeah.
No. I think in me it would be wrong.
Right.
So there's just sit empty.
Yeah.
Until we can find somebody. Housing is interesting, but I don't know how we would do health insurance at first. I mean, those are things you have to figure out. It's expensive.
Yeah.
And the church understands, and
But I think you have a church that would really embrace them.
Oh yeah, they all know we need
somebody.
If someone
came here, I think that
we need somebody.
Someone would just feel love.
If I was in the laboratory, they would play the guitar and lead music, or the piano would lead music and sing, and work with the youth.
Yeah.
That would be great. It would kill two birds with one stone.
Right.
But I'll take a youth pastor before, because as you know, we just have piped in music for several years now.
Yeah.
We have we have instruments everywhere.
But the hardest thing is getting teenagers in the first place.
Yeah.
But you already have them here. It's just we need someone to disciple them.
Yeah, I'm 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can. I mean, though these kids relate to me, love me. I'm Pastor Steve.
Right.
But the teens, hey, Pastor Steve, how you doing?
Yeah. Right.
But they know I'm there to talk to them. I've had conversations with some where moms or dads say, "Could you talk to my son?" They talk to my daughter. Well, I talk to your daughter. My wife's got to be there.
Yeah.
That's just
sure.
Protect your back 101.
Yeah.
In the ministry.
Yeah.
Or at the house, in the living room, my wife's in the other room, doors are open, just so it doesn't get, Yeah, you can ruin, in a little town like this.
Sure.
You got to cover your back.
Yeah.
And I say that from experience, you got to protect yourself against that. But I couldn't ask for a better place to be. I couldn't ask for a better group of folks.
Yeah.
And it's all such a weird, comical, movie of getting here in Arkansas and, stumbling through the first years and just trying to figure out what does a pastor do. And I am the most blessed man. Who was it? Lou Gehrig? Today I consider myself the luckiest pastor on the Alaska district. I'm blessed. I'm lucky. They love me. I love them.
Yeah.
The future's really good. That happened.
I would not be surprised though if some young person came here and just fell in love with Cordova. That really found like this is an amazing church.
And he'll be with me. He'll be on the sidewalk with me.
Oh yeah.
I said, let's go. It's Cheeseburger Saturday. Let's go.
Yeah.
My wife will teach you how to make bacon and onions. She's really good at it.
Yeah.
And and then just there's a million ideas about doing lock-in nights, and we have all these great little things to do.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is to get these kids to know what they believe, why they believe it,
sure,
and they can defend their faith when they go off to college.
Well, I've never done this before, but I would recommend if you're a pastor and you're struggling to figure out how to reach your community, you should reach out to my friend Steve.
Oh, thanks.
When you see him, if you're on the Alaska district and you see him at district events, I would pull him aside and just say, help me understand this. But if you're a pastor anywhere, who knows where people are going to be watching this, and you are in a small community, you just can't figure it out, call Steve. I think he would talk to you.
I got some ideas in the file.
I think he would be someone that would share, because we need to be encouraged to hear you can have a thriving church and you don't have to be in a town of 100, 200,000.
No.
You don't have to have a church of 500
and
to be changing a community.
What was that book you had to read, The Grasshopper?
Yeah, The Grasshopper.
Where I stopped saying, I don't tell people I pastor a small church anymore. Yeah. I say, I pastor a great church.
Yes, that's right. In the meantime, though, you can be on the streets and there's so many people that recognize you. I mean, I saw it. People, Pastor Steve, and they don't go to this church, but they're excited to see you. They know that you love the community. I mean, they just...
I'm at the volleyball games. I'm at the basketball games. I'm involved in Little League. I'm involved with the Girl Scouts. I'm involved with the wrestlers. I'm going to be there. They're going to see me.
Yeah. I'm
going to show up. And again, I've gone to basketball games just so I got to show up.
Yeah.
Pope wave, halftime. I'm out of here. And I'm not going to lie. And I go to show that, hey, I do support these guys. It's Saturday. I got stuff to do for Sunday.
Sure.
So I'm not shy about saying that.
Yeah.
They need to know who I am. Like take kids fishing. The little kids. A lot of these teenagers here. I took them fishing on Sunday afternoons. Let's go. Their mom said, "Go ahead, take them." And we take them fishing.
That's awesome.
And we have a great time.
Yeah.
It was just I don't know. I think they're just attracted to me because I'm probably just as goofy as they are. and I get it. I get what they're going through. And I don't understand or know their home life.
Yeah.
But I know what mine was.
Yeah.
And that could be the cause of their behavior.
Sure.
But you see them. They're a little antsy.
Sure.
But they sang.
Yep, they did.
And, they give an offering.
Yeah.
I love them. They love me. And as a pastor, You know, if I'm walking down the street, like you said, and I hear, Pastor Steve!
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. You gotta stop for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a privilege.
Oh, it's an honor to be a part of the community and to be so trusted by the community.
Yeah.
With money and possessions. And oh, he'll be fine. Just give it to him. He'll be fine. He'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got something to give away? Give it to him. He'll make sure it goes to a good home. And they're going to go to me.
Sure.
I'll find out. I have stuff I hold on to.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. This is so cool, Lord, that they gave me this a while back. I've been sitting on this, and this guy needs this.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
I said, again, if you're out there, I was 2 weeks away from being 60 years old before God put me in the place that He had been preparing me for those 60 years.
Wow.
It was to prepare me for this.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have worked somewhere else. I wouldn't have been ready somewhere else. I wouldn't have been so defeated when I got the call to come here.
Wow.
I just said, well, I'm not going to pastor again, so
Yeah.
I'm going to have to figure out how to get out of the big box store and do something better with the rest of my life. And,
Sometimes God has His very best for us later on.
yeah. Just be faithful.
Well, you're one of our great pastors on the district, a great role model.
Thank
and
you.
Just,
To God
again, hit him up. He's a great resource.
To God be the glory.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just a beggar who found the bread. And as the sayings go, I know the rock I crawled out from under. And I can tell you that Jesus can change a life in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Men, don't be so prideful. Don't be so prideful. It's okay for a man to love Jesus.
Yeah.
And to be someone who loves their family and loves their wife.
Yeah.
And has committed themselves to doing the right thing. Because this life is so short. Forever's a long time.
Yeah.
And the advice I tell everybody, don't get Jesus wrong.
Yeah.
If you're not even a Christian and you came across this, what's this about? Yeah. Don't get Jesus wrong.
Yeah.
If you belong to any other denomination, still don't get Jesus wrong, because who knows what they're teaching you?
Right.
Who knows what we would teach you, right? We hopefully would be true to the scriptures.
Yeah.
But we got lots of churches in town that get Jesus wrong.
Yeah.
And that's not good, because you know the story. Hey, we did all this in your name, Jesus. Because but you got me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Right.
Well, thanks for the sweeping and the cleaning and the painting. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I don't know you.
Right.
Knowing you is your life. You gave your life to me. You let me guide you. You use my word to show you the path. You gave your time, talent, and treasures to the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
For what motive? Because of how much you love me, Lord.
Yeah.
And not any other motive.
Yeah.
And I know my motives for the longest time were very insecure motives. And it's so. And I wouldn't say, well, I was going to hell. But I wasn't living the kind of Christian life with joy and peace that is available to you if you just get Jesus right.
Yeah.
And understand, we shared the other day something I heard. I have to start remembering more how much He loves me than worrying about how much I love Him.
Yeah. That's right.
My life will show you how much, I'll live my life to show you I love you, but it's nothing compared to me every day saying, wow,
Yeah.
I can't believe how much you love me.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a good Easter message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever get the chance to come to Cordova, I would highly recommend it.
Come on back.
It's not that far on a ferry, actually, from Whittier to come out here.
7-hour ferry ride.
Yeah.
Bring a good book.
If you're not bringing a car and you just want to walk around and
We'll
check
come
it
get
out, he'll be a great tour guide, and you won't be disappointed.
Come in June, July, August, we can go fishing.
There you go.
But thank you so much, and God bless you, everybody out there.
Thank you for watching. Hey, we're going to see you real soon.